Yeah. Hey, happy May Day to you. Are you doing anything special for May Day? Well, we want to show you something that we did. And it's probably too late to do it this year, but there's always next year, right? And Valerie, Aunt Valerie, Mom, Nana, Grandma, whoever, is going to show you all about it. Buttercup.
Okay, well, I'm going to show you about what we used to do on May Day when we were younger. First, I think about doing it now sometimes, but okay. We're going to make a Mayflower basket. And what you need for the Mayflower basket is an envelope, any kind of envelope. We've got a nice little blue one, we've got a regular sized white one, and we've got even a brown envelope. So whatever you have, we can make it work. Oh, you can also use a paper plate. That works just fine too. So what you're going to do is you're going to go outside, anywhere you go, and pick some stuff to put in your little envelope. It doesn't have to be fancy flowers. This time of the year, it seems like everything is mostly yellow, maybe a little bit of purple if you got some violets, but yellow is great. Right now we got lots of daffodils here in the yard. So I picked a few daffodils, I picked a few dandelions, and some greens, some little leaves and stuff like that. So there's a variety. We're going to start by taking your envelope and you're going to make it into what we're going to use for a basket. What did you use for your basket?
A little envelope and cut the middle out, and we were lucky. We had, you may or may not be familiar with the flower. It's called a forget-me-not. And the other name for them, which is important for you to remember because it's an antique word, they were called pissabegs.
At least that's what our mother told us they were called.
Why would Granny lie? You know?
Just stretch the truth, just a little.
But they were called that because they would grow in little white spots. So it looked like little blotches of perhaps piss on the bed. Just saying. Mom had a whole bunch of her own crazy stuff. So are you going to be making one?
Yeah. And we're not using pissabegs because they don't hold up. The stems are very short. So we're getting the strongest ones that we can find. But we're going to start with our medium envelope. It's the easiest way to do it. And you can get very clever and you can get more creative than we're going to do. We're going to do the simplest way we can do it, okay? So what we're going to do is you're going to take your envelope and you've got your little flap there. You're going to cut right in the middle of the envelope down about 3/4 of the way. So when you pick it up, you've got a slit.
Ta-da!
Okay? Then in the slit, right where the fold is, you're going to cut it again in the other direction. So what's going to happen now is that's going to fit right over a doorknob, like that.
Ah.
What do you know? And when you put it on the correct way, like I didn't, you have your opening here and your flowers are going to come out here. Now you picked all your little flowers, but you don't want to have them die before you can use them. So what we're going to do is we've got a little snack bag. You're going to take your little snack bag.
We did not have little snack bags in those days.
Paper towels.
It would be paper towels or foil or wax paper. Gosh, wax paper, I'll tell you something. You guys have no idea the many things you can do with wax paper,
Absolutely.
which we did all the time. We made placemats. We'll show you that another day. You know, the good old crafts never die. And while she is doing that, I'll share a little bit about something we saw on YouTube. You know, in Unity, we talk about divine order. That means everything is happening according to a preordained plan with flexibility for how life works. And so we're doing this video, and we're so excited about it. And on YouTube today, we saw a video of, it was Granny something, I forgot, Granny Dobje or something like that. And she was giving her instructions for her funeral. And she's 92 years old, and which makes us feel like babies. And she said that at her funeral, you were not, you cried. Crying was okay, but not too much and not to make a fool of yourself. And that Bertha was not to be allowed. no, she was not a friend anymore, and she was not, if she showed up, to kick her out.
But everybody was to have a drink.
Get drunk, she said. 92, I guess you do what you want. She said, everybody get drunk on my funeral. Of course, the thing is, this little old lady has 4 million plus followers on TikTok or TikTok.
We never get that right. They're not even going to remember what that was by the time they watch this video. You want?
Yeah, we probably won't even get any followers, but we're not, because it's family. I don't know. Maybe I'll make it public now that maybe we'll get 4 million viewers someday. Continue.
Okay, what I did was I took paper towel, folded up a little bit, and I'm putting it in the water where my flowers are, just so I can get it to be moist enough to stay in the bottom of the plastic bag. Okay? There we go. Get that in the bottom of the bag. Spread it out a little bit so all the flowers get a chance to have a little bit of water. Then you start putting your flowers in. I wouldn't put the fancy flowers in first. I'd probably just stick in some green stuff. Nothing's a weed when it comes to these. And if it's pretty and you like it, it's a flower. So you just start sticking them in. Keep working on it. Different sizes, different shapes.
I know you're probably wondering what's the point. Don't worry, we're going to tell
Well,
you.
we're going to get there. Okay, now we've got some in here. Let's give us an idea about our little envelope, so I don't want to overfill it just yet. So now you get a regular idea what you got here. Fits right into the plastic bag, fits right into the envelope. Push it down all the way so you don't really see the plastic bag anymore. See, you see the little flowers?
Open up a little.
So what we're going to do is we're going to put a few bigger flowers in. So my sister is going to chat with you for a minute.
Okay, so we would do this, and my mom gave us the idea, and we'd have our little violets and pissabeds and dandelions. Don't forget what we talked about the importance of dandelions. Please don't go poisoning them, because when you poison them, you poison bees, and we need bees because they are our primary pollinator, aside from the wind, which we can also poison, now that I'm thinking of it. But love those dandelions. How else can you make wishes and blow things off away, and, you know, when it's not your birthday, in a candle? You know? So,
We're getting
do you
there.
think
We're
you
getting
should cut
there.
that shorter, maybe? Kibitzing. I know I need to keep my mouth shut.
Only if it falls over. If it doesn't fall over, we can leave it a little longer because it'll hide the doorknob.
Ah.
So
So,
you just keep stuffing in whatever you think looks pretty. I got some pretty long wispy weeds here. And actually, I found these bushes that were kind of dead. And they made these really pretty
sometimes dead
brown
things are
curly
pretty.
things.
Ah.
They don't need water, but they sure look pretty in your little arrangement. Put a
Yeah.
couple of those in. They see we're coming. We're getting there.
Yeah.
That's this one's nice and strong. So, we'll put it in there.
I want to know what the stick is for. I want to know what the stick is for.
See, when you pick weeds, you can pick sticks. You can pick all kinds of interesting things. If it looks pretty to you, pick it. And it might look really beautiful.
Pretty is
You
relative.
take these little sticks, and not only do they look pretty, they hold your flowers up.
Ah,
See, they're holding your little flowers up. a
lovely,
little bit stiffer.
lovely.
So you don't have to go to the florist to buy a May basket. And the people who know May baskets are going to really love it. And if they don't know them, you explain it.
You explain it, or you just let them figure it out. So, did you want to talk about what we do with them once they're done?
Sure. What you do, usually this is done in a neighborhood, a close neighborhood where you can walk and be safe.
And be safe.
You know, don't go in the road, don't go running across the road or anything because you're excited. Remember, people that you know. You're not going to do this to people you don't know because they don't understand what's going on. They've probably never heard of a May basket. So what you do is after you get them all done, you're going to find a neighbor's house, and when nobody's in the yard or whatever, you go up real quiet to the door and you hang your little envelope on the door with your flowers in it. As soon as you do that, you knock on the door real hard and run away so they can't see you.
It's a surprise!
It's a surprise. And they think the florist has been there because your flowers are so absolutely spectacularly beautiful. How could you not love something that looked like that? Isn't it the prettiest little thing?
It is very pretty.
And I mean, it took us 10 minutes to do it, maybe. But the plastic bag is good if you're using a thin envelope, because I can feel dampness on this one because I leaned it on the table. But I just figured I'd remind you, make sure you got your plastic bag in there and that the wet paper towel goes in. And even the stems of the flowers, if you can get them in there where that wet paper towel is.
Oh, you got
they're
some
gonna-
violets.
I got, yes.
You
I
have to
got-
put some
no,
violets
these
in
aren't
there.
violets.
Oh, they're not. What
No.
are they? Oh, no,
they're
not.
a weed that's growing out there.
Oh,
by
a
the tree.
beautiful purple weed. God does good work. So she said, go to places, places are safe. A neighbor can be very safe if you see them, watch them come and go. And to me, see, things like this helped us build community. We got together. We got to know our neighbors. And I think that's why we didn't have as much disrespect and the issues that we have today, because we got to know each other and we got to be fun. And we remember those people to this day. What was the name of those people that lived next door? The exotic woman with the...
Oh, gosh,
she
I
looked
don't
like she was
remember.
Mediterranean or something. She was gorgeous, and they would go out. He was just a guy. And they would go out on their boat. He was an old guy. They would go out on their boat,
Dirty.
and she would sunbathe out on Lake Bisek. So how do you like that? So that's...
We're hoping they're not alive and hearing this, because it's nobody else's business.
Even if they're dead and hearing this, they could be...
I know.
We'll get you. Maybe they'll be turned up in my next ghost story. So there was something else for today we wanted to show you. And that, let me see if I can get back here. Probably have to put in my, I have to put in my little code again. I can't turn it that way. I don't want y'all knowing my code. There we go. This is called a maypole. Now, we would do maypole dances in school, but the maypole originated over 2,000 years ago when Roman soldiers, yes, you heard me right, Roman soldiers would take big long ribbons and they would dance around a tree. And they were celebrating spring and the goddess Flora.
The ribbons went up
Flower.
and down. You had to go in and out, but not just
You
around the
wove
pole.
it. You see,
One
they're
in and one out.
yeah, they're weaving it. They go back and forth and back and forth. And we did that in school. We would do May Day. Of course, there were never enough strings for as many kids. So, you had to fight to get in there and get your ribbon. But on the other hand, weaving it reminds us it's another way to weave us together. There we go. Look at that.
Yeah,
How would you
see?
like to have that on your doorknob?
Some people are going to get fancier flowers, but it doesn't matter. The weeds are just as pretty. It's the thought. And if you want to be creative before you put the flowers, because we went through this kind of quick, take your colored pencils or crayons, color your envelope really pretty too. Then they've got something to keep after the flowers are gone. Maybe they'll remember you the next year and use the same envelope. You never know.
You never know. It's a fun thing. So it's our hope that we will share with you some of our traditions that you will either just know about, or that you maybe will teach your children, or that you will do yourself. Please don't think that you outgrow stuff like this, because stuff that's fun and wonderful, it's never outgrown. And that's the way we learn to be happy and to be lights in the world. And so we just share our light. That is an excellent job. She is the artist. It clearly would not look that way with me. My flowers would be dead
Maybe
and
tomorrow
dangling
we'll
over
have
the
to
edge.
do- No, you can't do that because it's not May Day. It has to be done on May Day.
This is May Day, so you still have time. Sun's still out. Sun's out until like 6, 7 o'clock. So why don't you find some envelopes, throw some flowers in them, make a crisscross hole or a round hole or whatever kind of hole you want. And we used to, this kind of envelope, we would actually cut the part away from the glue out, so that would make another opening for the doorknob.
If you have nowhere to leave them, if you got no neighbors you want to go to, or you're uncomfortable doing that, put them on your own doorknobs inside the house. It just adds color.
Yeah.
It's really nice, and it's a good thought. Make sure you remember there's somebody in charge of there that makes absolutely beautiful things,
Yeah.
and you're including yourself in that.
That's a fact. Well, thanks for watching today, and I hope you enjoy the many more that are coming up. I just expanded my Ancestry membership, so we'll be able to dig more dirt on your family members, on the roots of your family tree. Have a great day.
Happy May Day.
God bless.